Hello and welcome to Conversations with Mental Health Professionals and Friends. I've created this series of videos to sit down and fill some gaps for other mental health professionals. I know that there's a lot that they don't cover in school, and it's always like you got your practice, and then what? So today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Melissa Robinson Brown, aka Dr. Mel. Ooh, ooh. Dr. Mel has a PhD in clinical psychology. She is the owner of Renewed Focus Psychology Services. She's been in private practice for 11 years, and then some other stuff that we're going to get into it today. So let's get into it, get into it. Welcome, Dr. Mel. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Madeline. Thank you for asking to have the conversation. I love talking about this stuff. It gets me really excited because I truly believe that there is enough room for all of us to win
Yeah.
as mental health practitioners. And so let's share the goodies so that everybody can win.
Good. Yes, let's all win. So I had the pleasure of knowing about you almost 3 years. You didn't know me, but
Wow.
Dr. Donna, shout out to Dr. Donna if she's watching this. I love her to death. You actually have been supporting her in like going cash only
Private
in
pay.
her practice,
Hmm.
and you did a training, and I happened to be working with her and saw one of the
Wow.
videos, and I was like, oh, she is dropping gems. Why don't everybody talk about Dr. Mel? So, so tell
Love
the
that.
people, like what do you do? Because I know we talked about you have a private practice, but like what is your jam and your sauce?
Yeah, so I call myself a clinical psychologist and a badassery architect.
Hmm.
I am here because I believe that everyone, especially women, have a badass inside of them. And there are different, badass is the definition. I think sometimes we hear that and we're like, and especially people will look at me and be like, well, of course, you got purple hair,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
you're funky. But it isn't just that. Like my purple hair, my hair, the way I dress, my style is about what lights me up from the inside and what makes me feel like myself. And that's how you find your badass, right?
Hmm.
You are walking in a path that is specifically designed and about you and internally what is lighting you up on the inside. And when you find that space, what you could give to the world is just phenomenal. So I want to help women get there. And that's what I do in my practice. A lot of times women are going through some significant transitions when this is about to happen because they've sort of done what the world told them to do.
Mm.
They followed the templates, the rules, the pathways, go to school, get your degree, find a partner, get a house, have some kids. You should be amazing and
Right.
feel good. And then they don't. And they're like, wait, is this it?
Yeah.
We got here in our mid 30s or early 40s, and we're like, that's it? That's
Yeah.
life? That's all we're doing for this
Yeah.
whole time? And I'm like, no, that's not life.
Hmm.
And honestly, if you probably would have done some things a while ago that would have lit you up that weren't on the traditional path, you might not have arrived here. But we're here.
Hmm.
So I want you to discover how, as we transition, where you find that person you're really meant to be. And so I like to do that in the personal space, therapy space, and then also with practitioners, right?
Okay.
When they're building these private practices. Because usually when we're starting a private practice, that's not traditional either. You went to school and they told you to go work at somebody's clinic or
Hmm.
hospital or agency and give back. And then you're like, wait, but that don't pay bills. So
Right.
now what?
So now what?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
So what I love about
So
you is that you are a advocate for practices moving to being self-pay.
I am.
And so I have seen at Koap Virtual, which is the name of my company, I have seen a lot of, because we're about to be in our fifth year, I have seen clients move from insurances to being like, no, we're not taking any insurances anymore. Um, why do you think that that is?
So I think a lot of things. So I'm in a lot of therapist groups, and the
Okay.
grumblings I hear are often about low reimbursement rates. Unfortunately, even though mental health is such a huge thing in this world, it is still so undervalued.
Undervalued,
And we
yes.
just do not get reimbursed the way that medical practitioners do.
Mm-hmm.
And so reimbursement rates are very low, insulting at times. And even when you do have a contract, I hear a lot of grumblings around payment,
Mm-hmm.
delayed payments by months when you're using those payments to run your practice. And it's for dumb things, right? Like a box wasn't checked,
Yeah.
or, oh, they needed to audit you. And because they were in the middle of the audit, now you're backed up by
Mm-hmm.
6 months. Um, so I think that's one of the reasons why people are moving and all of the headaches that go along with it. And it also requires, when you have such low reimbursement
Mm-hmm.
and you're having to fight constantly with these insurance companies in order to make a living wage, a livable wage, you have to see 20, 30,
Yeah.
sometimes 40 people a week. That is exhausting,
Yeah.
right? You can't do good work like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, really hard. And so people are recognizing, like, I'm burnt out and I'm
Mm-hmm.
28, right? I can't be burnt out now and I got a whole
Got a lot
career to
of,
live.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, well, folks are like, I got to do something different. So they switch to cash pay because just all around, it is better for them.
So I know for a lot of people that's scary though, because insurance, it's like, okay, most people have insurance, and if they do have insurance, how do I get them to forego that insurance and pay me out of pocket? Like, I know there's got to be a lot of fear and apprehension there. Um, what would you say to a person that is fearful? Like, can I make it? Will this be the end of my practice if I make this switch? What would you say to someone?
Mhm. So I always believe in taking healthy and calculated risks.
Mm-hmm.
Still a risk because you don't know what's going to come on the end, but like make it a good risk, right? So
Yeah.
crunch your numbers, one.
Okay.
Find out how many clients you actually would need to even just break even, right? So you're not losing money, even if you're not like gaining massive profit, right? Or how many clients do you need to see private pay or
Mm-hmm.
cash pay to live? It's what I did when I quit my job and I was like, I'm no longer going to get a regular
Yeah.
salary. I need to know how many clients I need to have to be able to actually contribute to my household and make up
Right.
my salary. So I crunched numbers to see if it was possible to do the thing. So that's the first thing. So we're fear is usually, or fear and anxiety is the fear of the unknown. So
Mm-hmm.
once you start crunching numbers, you start getting some data around, all right, so maybe I only need to see 10 clients a week. At now we've got to set fees. And folks is afraid to set fees that are commensurate with
Yeah.
experience
Mm-hmm.
and degree. I'll spend
Mm-hmm.
all this time getting this degree and want to
Right.
charge $50 for a session. I'm so confused. Um, so you got to get comfortable. You got to work on your money narratives, right? So
Okay.
that's the second thing I would say.
Okay.
So first, crunch your numbers, understand what do I need to be able to make a living wage or make up the money that I was missing now that I'm going into cash pay. And then also, like, we need to work on our money narratives,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our fear of charging
Mm-hmm.
what we are worth. Society has messed us up, right? Because
Yeah.
remember, we undervalue mental health. So folks don't want to put a price tag on it
Right.
because they're fearful that, well, nobody will buy. And don't get me wrong, everybody is not going to be banging down your
Exactly.
door trying
Yeah.
to work with you if you are cash pay. They're
Yeah.
not, because people do want to be able to use insurance. But your clients are out there.
Yeah.
You have to work past your money narratives, uh, and then make sure you're real specific about what you're helping people with.
Okay.
You cannot, I think you're going to struggle as a generalist
Mm-hmm. Mm.
with a cash pay practice. You're going to
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because they gotta really, really want to work with you.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's got to be a reason that I'm going to pay all this money out of pocket to
exactly.
work with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I sat down with Samara Stone. She's a brand strategist, and
Love her.
oh,
I
that's my
know
girl. I
Samara.
could eat up Samara with a spoon. She when we were talking, she was saying how branding is so important, because if I'm gonna spend my money with you, like, if you want me to pay cash only, there's got to be a reason. There you've got to be attracting your right person so that they want to forego their insurance and fork over that money weekly. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love
Okay.
that. Okay, so let me ask you this then, because I've also seen some of my clients say, okay, we're only taking cash only, self-pay only, and then after a couple months, they were back to taking insurance, even though they didn't want to.
Yep.
What do you think was their reason for not being able to make it? It sounds like they probably, like you just said, didn't do the math. And so the math never was mathing.
Right.
Okay.
So there's also just a lack of patience.
Couple months ain't gonna do it.
So nope. My first, so I've been in private practice for 11 years.
Okay.
I had one client for 4 months. One. And now granted, when I started private practice, I did have a full-time job at the
Okay.
time, and private practice was my side hustle.
Okay.
So I wasn't really putting effort
hmm
into making, like, I didn't have a website. I think I had a Psych Today profile, no website, no social media presence talking about anything. I don't even know if I told people I had a private practice. So that one client I had was a referral from a colleague, a really good friend who actually pushed me to start a practice. She gave me one of her clients. And because I had a relationship with her, and she was a couples therapist, she like kept when it was appropriate, she would send me people from her couples that
Sure.
were looking for an individual therapist, right? But I still only had one client for 4 months,
Okay.
right? So I think sometimes people don't make it because number one, they're not doing their math, they're not taking healthy risks. If you're about to quit your job or
hmm
or switch from an insurance to cash pay, please make sure you have a little bit of a cushion for you because
hmm
you're not, again, what I said before. If you're a cash pay practitioner, people are not going to be banging down your
Right.
door. And unless you already, like, I had a friend, sorry, hopefully soon to be friend, that
hmm
I met recently at a conference I did. And she was like, I don't know, I'm thinking about going into practice full time. She still works at a hospital. But I was at a conference that she was organizing. That woman had a 300-person base to come to
mm
a conference for 3 days. And she was like,
mm
I don't know if I should do it. I'm like, girl, you crazy?
Girl.
You got 300 people already who believe in you.
Yeah.
That's just who could show up for
Yeah.
that. Stop it. Go. Hang your shingle now. People are dying to sit in a chair with you.
Yeah.
Now that, right, that you don't, most people don't have that
Right.
before they start.
Yeah.
So you cannot, unless you have some major, now if you have a major following and a major audience, yeah, you'll probably
Yeah.
build faster.
Right.
But for most of us, we don't have that kind of presence. So it's going to take time for folks to be constantly coming to you.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
I love that patience, patience, patience. I
Yep.
mean, that's with anything with business though. You can't expect to turn the lights on and like, everybody is busting your door down for anything that
Nope.
anybody does, right? It's gonna take some
Unless you like Beyonce or Rihanna. Like
Rihanna,
as soon
right?
as they drop something, folks is like, "Ah," but we're not. We're just aren't.
Yeah,
Okay, we can accept where we are.
yeah. So,
So yeah, no.
okay, so we know that therapists not in it for the money, right? So
Right.
a lot of them go to school because they just want to help people. They want to help people. And then I think there might be, and you tell me if you are in agreement with me, that there's a little bit of guilt going cash only because now you're excluding a group of people who might
Yep.
not be able to pay out of pocket and won't have access to bomb clinicians anymore if everybody starts moving over. Um,
Right.
how can a practice or a clinician that wants to move to self-pay only still give back and have impact if, outside of the one-on-ones?
hmm So I think you're right. There's a lot of guilt that's been sort of brainwashed into us. And a lot of us, I mean, I don't know anybody
Mm-hmm.
who is a therapist because
Mm-hmm.
being a therapist is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hold people's stuff
Mm-hmm.
and be able to work with them through their traumas and their hurts and their harms. It's a lot of work. So there's not anybody that I know that goes into this because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get in here because I'm about to make buku bucks. And this is
Right, right.
like, right, we're all very heart-centered.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to hold space and give space to people. But I often tell people when I'm training around like being a cash pay practice, you don't have to give back through your one-to-one dollars,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can set your fees where your fees are, but here's the thing. Remember, if you're insurance-based, you probably have to see, I don't know, maybe 30
Mm-hmm.
people a week, let's just say on average, to like make money,
Yeah.
right? When you are cash pay, I see 14 people a week
That
on
is a
2 days.
big difference. That is a
So
humongous difference.
huge. So that means on Monday, Thursday, and Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I do other stuff with my time. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
that keen on giving back, maybe on Thursday afternoons, you do either pro bono work
Mm-hmm.
at a local clinic,
Yeah.
right? Or you start a nonprofit organization. Maybe you're into that. And so through your nonprofit, you provide free therapeutic services to people.
Mm-hmm.
You can even add pro bono clients to your caseload,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you could say, I'm going to have 15 people a week that I see at my fees. And then there will be an application process or something because you want to be fair,
Yeah.
right? Where two, at any given time in the year, I've got two pro bono clients,
I
people
love
who
that.
aren't paying anything,
Yeah.
right? There's so many ways for you to give back, but we get so stuck that it has to be one specific way. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why folks don't survive as cash pay practices. Because
Mm-hmm.
what we, instead of thinking to themselves, if I don't have to see 30 clients a week, I've now freed up so much time to give back in other ways. We want to slide all over the place. We want to charge $50, we want to charge 75, and then yo,
Yeah.
think about $75. You have to pay from that overhead expenses,
Mm-hmm.
taxes,
Taxes.
uh, what else do I think about? Overhead, taxes, and operating. That's the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those are the two major buckets. But, overhead expenses are usually supposed to be about 30% of what you make. Taxes are another, depending on anything, 15 to 20. So
Mm-hmm.
50% of that
It's
$75
gone.
is gone.
Right.
Y'all living on $30 an hour? Cool.
Yeah. And
I mean,
then
if that
don't
works,
include if you've got like in-house staff and all
right.
those things and you know, so that's
Well, then you know what happens? People can't afford in-house staff because they're charging $75. And so then what happens then? They don't think they can make it in a private practice because they haven't hired any help to make sure that the phones get answered. I
and that's
still
what
hear
we're
this all
here
the time.
for.
That's you. But I hear this all the time, right? People be
Yeah.
like, I reached out to 10 therapists and not one person got back to me.
Oh my God. That is such a pet peeve of mine.
Ooh,
I want to just strangle people when I hear that because it's so heartbreaking. Like, if you're brave enough to wake up for therapy, you shouldn't have to call 10 people. It's like, okay, maybe I don't want to do therapy. And like, that's
yeah.
where we're losing the impact, really, just not
Mm-hmm.
answering the phone. So if we could just answer
Mm-hmm.
the phone and start there, geez. And plus, that will free up
Yeah.
more time so that you can operate in your genius while somebody
Yep.
is answering the phone. Because you know what happens a lot of times if you answer the phone, people try to turn it into a mini therapy session
They sure do.
before they even ran you any money. So
Yep.
don't answer that phone yourself.
Don't do it. And I'll say like full disclosure, I absolutely did it that way when I started
Mhm.
because I didn't understand the value of having an assistant. And so people just had my cell phone number
Oof,
and that was blasted all over
oof.
my Psychology Today profile. And so at any hour of the
See?
day, people
Mhm.
would call. So I'm
Yeah.
answering, and to your point, I'd be like, "Oh, I can't do
Mm-mm.
a consult with you right now."
Mm-mm.
Um, so I've changed a lot of those systems, but yeah,
Yeah.
you need help.
Need help. So you clearly, if we haven't made it clear, y'all watching, that Dr. Mel actually does business coaching for these types of things. So I
Oh.
know that you do business coaching for going self-pay. What else you coaching on?
So I do business coaching if you're wanting to do a cash pay practice. I also do coaching related to on the other side, right, of women. I have a coaching program called the Badass Transformation Career Boundaries and Connections Academy.
Ooh.
And that in there you are doing it's a 12-week program. It's a deep dive into Are you in the career you need to be in? And if not, what are we shifting, changing, tweaking? We talk about being better boundary setters because we are all kind of trash at boundaries,
Mhm,
and we
mhm,
don't really understand what a boundary is. That's what I've also
mhm,
learned. Folks think boundaries are about other people. That's so funny.
mm.
And then connections, because especially as we become adults, what I often hear is, I don't have friends.
That's
It's hard to
me.
make friends as an adult.
It's
Yeah,
impossible.
it's really
Why is it so
challenging.
hard? Why is
So
it so
hard.
hard? Oh,
Or
I just want to go
partners.
on a trip with somebody and like,
Have those girlfriend trips you see on IG, and you're like, but where are those people? I need them. But
yeah.
yes, that. And then also like partners, people are wanting romantic partners, but are
Hmm.
struggling to find the relationships. People have horrendous family relationships, and they
Hmm.
just don't know what to do about those. So in that 12 weeks, we deep dive, and you come out on the other end transformed, making
Okay.
big moves, bold statements, potentially making career changes, quitting jobs, asking for raises and promotions. Yeah, we
Okay.
do the things.
I love that. I love that. You might have to drop the link for me personally when we're done. Okay.
I will do.
Let me ask you this, going back to the self-pay coaching, right?
Yes.
I know people have to pay for your expertise. However, if you were to drop a few golden nuggets on this here video, what
Mhm.
would you say is the first maybe three steps that people need to go toward to switch to self-pay only?
Um, make sure your systems, policies, all that back end structural things, those need to be tight. Standard operating procedures, tight, 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 tight. Um, you want a well-oiled machine, and you want to make sure you are, your paperwork is in order, you have policies. This is the one that I think has kept me in practice that I know a lot of people um don't do so great with. So this would be gem number two. So I'll say gem number one is make sure policies, procedures, back end, all of it is tight. When you go cash pay and you're waiting for those
Hmm.
clients to show up, how you need to be spending your time is, do I have a good informed consent?
Hmm.
Do I have a telehealth informed
Hmm.
consent? Do I have a credit card form or
Yeah.
service so I can collect fees? Like all those things, you got your malpractice. I mean, you should have that anyway if you were already
Right.
cash pay, but I mean, insurance based. But all of that needs to be really tight.
Don't be
Um,
raggedy.
don't be raggedy, because remember, you need to stand out from the crowd.
Hmm.
So if you are just going to be raggedy,
Hmm.
right? Like you don't have anything set to like answer phones, to deal with inquiries. Where are you sending them?
Hmm.
Um, people pay attention, right?
Hmm.
You asking them for real money, but you giving raggedy, you
Yeah.
giving Walmart service, but you
Yeah.
asking for Bergdorf's fees. You're not gonna get what you want.
Right.
So make sure that's set up. And then the second thing is your cancellation policy, your no-show policy. If y'all don't have one, and make sure you stick to it, gosh darn it, right? There's too much softness around that. There's too much, well,
Case by
oh, well,
case
I'm going to
and
get a
all of that.
charge back.
Hmm.
No, you're, I'll say this, right? And I will share this because we're on the show. In 11 years of private practice, 11 years,
Hmm.
two times
Hmm.
has somebody not paid a no-show or cancellation fee for me because their card declined. Twice.
That's it.
Twice. That's it. And I never saw those people again because when they realized they weren't going to pay the fee, they didn't come back. Right? But it's because number one, set your expectations early.
Hmm.
Don't don't bury your cancellation policy somewhere in your paperwork, and then you want to reinforce it 3 weeks later, and the
Right.
person's like, "What?
Right.
What do you mean? I'm mad now."
Yeah.
No, upfront, and then be consistent.
Yeah.
Even if it's your favorite client in the whole wide world,
Don't
they
matter.
get charged too.
Yeah.
Everybody, right?
Everybody.
Um, so keep that cancellation policy really tight. And then three, if you are going to be private pay, get really clear on your messaging. around who you serve and make sure you're loud about it. Right. So we are very specific in our practice around working with women who are going through major life
Yeah.
transitions, right? And everything that comes along with that. And we say it, right? If it's a career transition, if it's, again, reaching this point in your life and kind of feeling lost, if it's a new baby, a
Right.
divorce, right? We are your go-to people for that. And when we get our inquiries, that is what people are asking for, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's clear what we do. You need to be clear about what you do. And then I am loud as hell about it. So
Mm-hmm.
personally, I do have a social media presence. I talk all the time about who I serve and why I want to serve them.
Mm-hmm.
And so people find me that way. They find me on socials. They find me through word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so you got to know who you're serving
Yeah,
and talk about it.
that makes sense. Those were three good
Yeah.
nuggets. Pay attention, y'all.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you are doing your coaching, what
Yes.
is the common gap or error? Well, because I know you do auditing too.
Yeah.
When you're doing that, what is a reoccurring error or a common theme that is raggedy when you looking through? Is it the SOPs? Oh, I'm a stickler for SOPs, but you answer the question.
Yeah. I often see raggedy messaging,
Mm-hmm.
every trying to serve everybody and their mama.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
I raggedy messaging, raggedy websites and pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Like, we have, even if you can't afford professional photos,
Yeah.
the cameras that are available nowadays are fantastic. Get a
Yes.
tripod,
Right.
good lighting, proper background,
Yeah.
and take a good picture or two,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you need to represent yourself well. I'll tell you why. I had feedback recently from somebody, and they said, your picture and your bio brought me to tears.
Hmm.
I knew I wanted to work with you,
Hmm.
right? You want people to feel something
Feel something. Yeah.
when and everybody want to do these pictures. Or please stop. Just
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
make it different. Like, you got to stand out,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this doesn't make you stand out,
Yeah.
right? Dance, show your personality. My picture on Therapy for Black Girls is me sitting in a chair laughing, right?
Okay.
Because why not?
Yeah.
So that's what I often, that is a gap I see, because your website is your storefront, and you don't want, it's just like social. You want to make people stop the scroll. So if I land on your website and I'm like, I'm bored, or I don't even see how to book my consultation call or how to get in touch with you, that's problematic. I think
Yeah.
the other thing that I often see is people are really fearful. Now, don't get me wrong, social media is not the only way to market yourself. There
Right.
are multiple ways to do that. I see a lot of people who are afraid of social, and we got to get unafraid.
Hmm.
We just do.
Yeah.
The world is hanging out on
That's
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
mhm. Yeah.
And can we go hand out our cards in doctors' offices? Absolutely. I have referral sources that are at
Mhm.
doctors' offices. So it's not like it's impossible,
Mhm.
but you need to have at least a little bit of a social presence. And the reason I say that is because everybody wants a little taste before they buy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you get that to them
Yeah.
when you even post once a week and talk
Mhm.
about a topic of choice,
Mhm.
right? You give them a little taste of that, and like that makes people more likely to want to invest with you.
Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
out here judging. We're out here judging. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Me too.
not saying it's right, but we're out here
Right.
judging. And I know whenever I want to buy something or connect with somebody, I baby stalk them. Like, what are they talking about here? Like, okay, who's the owner of the business? Let me find their personal page and see if they're the same type of person on their personal page. Oh,
Mm,
their website is a one pager. That's raggedy, or
mm,
and I know Koap is guilty of this, but if you haven't posted in 2 years, I'm like, are you still in business? Do you exist? Like there's so many
Right.
questions. But if I see somebody who's exciting, I call, they answer the phone. Like my daughters have literally picked therapists off of their social media presence. Um, they're like, I like this person. I think that that's the person I want to talk to. It's not just about, hey, I'm a therapist, call me. It's got
Yes.
to be something that connects with people for whatever reason that is.
Yes.
So I
And
agree.
make sure that that online persona matches who you are.
Hmm.
Don't try to be something you're not on
Hmm.
social,
Yeah.
right? Because folks will get frustrated with that. So
Mhm.
what you see here is exactly what you're going to see if we sit together
Yeah.
and have sessions. And I try to make that very consistent, right? So make sure it matches.
Because you can't catfish the universe.
No,
Can't catfish.
that's not fun either. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be exhausting for you and frustrating for your client.
Yes, ma'am.
And then
Yes.
you won't be able to keep clinicians. Oh, I have one more thing I want to share.
Sure.
This is not the question you asked me, but it made me go back to this thought about like, why don't people's practices survive when they go cash pay?
Mhm.
I'll tell you another reason.
Okay.
You're not honing your skills.
Okay.
I think a lot of clinicians believe that when they are done with school and they're done with their hours to
That's it.
become licensed, they done.
Hmm.
Baby, your little 5 years, and I did call them a little 5 years. Your little 5 years?
Don't hurt
No.
no feelings. Don't hurt no feelings.
Right. I'm hurting feelings. Your little 5 years
Yeah. Okay.
is not nearly enough for you to be the kind of clinician you think you are,
Yeah.
right? You need to constantly be in a state of learning. So I'm glad you got your license. Oh my God, I
Right.
know it was hard. I know that it was a lot of work. What's the next class you're taking?
Right.
What's the next CE you're in? What area, a lot of times people come out of school and they haven't even learned a specialty, right? They don't have a specialty in trauma or they want to say they have it. Or I can see kids. You can't see kids if you haven't done any training. You
Mm.
can't see couples just because they show up
Yeah.
in your space. Have you
Yeah.
done couples therapy training?
Hmm.
The one couple you saw when you were in school don't count,
Does not qualify.
right? Y'all need to start checking yourselves around whether or not you're a good therapist.
Yeah.
And the way to become that is be in peer supervision groups.
Hmm.
Make sure you're constantly honing your skills and doing training. Get better so that when you say to somebody, I want to charge you $250 for a session, they don't leave that session and be like, $250 where?
Where?
They leave the session being like, oh, well, see you next week.
Right.
They
Right.
don't even
Take my
think
money.
about it. Yeah, take it because really, my husband, right, in particular, I'll tell you the story that I think is so funny. He had a therapist at one point, and all he used to say is his name is 285. All he talked
Mm-hmm.
about was how much his therapy sessions were. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're focused too much on the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? His new therapist, I never heard him call that therapist what
Mm.
the person charges. He
Okay.
calls him by his name and talks about how valuable he has been in his life. That's the
That.
kind of experience you
Yeah.
want your clients to have,
Yeah.
not how much you're charging them, because eventually they're going to stop coming.
Yeah. That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because when the service or the product is not good, you are always going to go back to how much you paid for it. How much you paid.
Absolutely.
Like that's when you go out to eat. If
Yeah.
that food was trash, I paid $80 for that. But if
Yes.
it's
Yep.
good, ain't nobody thinking about how much it was.
Nope. Nope.
Nobody is questioning the price or anything. So I love that story. Not 285.
That's what he used to call them.
That is
285. I'm like, damn.
so funny. So funny. So beyond the coaching, you do audits and such. So tell the people how else they can connect with you to tap into your experience, expertise and experience.
You mean how can they reach me?
Yeah,
That's what you're asking about?
basically, what are your offerings? How can they be like, oh, I need some of the sauce of Dr. Mel? What are all the things and all the ways that they could tap into all of that you got going on?
Yes. So you can do a therapy, you can do the audit. I audit your practice. I'll look at your social media presence, your website, your policies, and then I'll give you feedback. That audit does not include any sort of one-to-one.
Okay.
Um, You can also, right now, the private payway does not have a cycle running, but you can always sign up for a to be on the waiting list. I
Okay.
do monthly retainer packages, and so if you would like, uh-oh, I froze. Can you
Yeah.
still hear me? Oh,
Back.
there we go. I do monthly retainer packages, and so that's basically me being your personalized coach for at least a month, and then you can continue. But you get my library of resources. We do that includes your audit. We do one-to-ones. We do coaching calls every week. We're talking about setting yourself up to get clients, how to get clients, what you need to do, what resources to connect you to get the things that you need. So that's a much more personalized experience.
Okay.
Um, and then you can always just book a one-off hour with me. So if you're like, huh, I can't do that monthly retainer, because I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like my prices reflect what you get. Because
My
as
price
I
is my
said to
price.
you,
Okay.
my price is my price. So if you're like, I can't do the monthly retainer yet because I'm not quite there, you
Hmm.
can just book a one-to-one session with me. It's an hour, an hour, how many hours you want to book. You would need to come with very specific questions so that we make the best use of
That
your
time.
hour.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, so that is also an option for any of those things. My website is actually in the middle of being redone. So my current Dr. Mel website doesn't reflect all of these things, but you
Okay.
can always email me, Dr. Mel, and you can add this, but it's drmel at a renewed
I'll put
focus.com.
everything below.
And yep, and you can tell me what you're looking for, and we can talk about uh, what would be beneficial. I also have a discovery call you can do with me. So that discovery calls are free. So if you're kind of like, I don't know what would be best
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
you can book a discovery call with me and we can figure out what would be best for you. But
Yeah.
again, best thing to do is just email me with all of that.
Okay. That's good to know. This is good to know. So I should have asked you before we got on here. Do you have access, like quick access to one of those dope shirts you sell?
Which one? The my
Any of
therapist
them.
doesn't like you either?
Because I know you have dope shirts. Do you
I
have one that you
do.
can hold up and show? Do you have
I have
access
the
to
one
one?
that says my therapist doesn't like you either. I would have to go grab it real quick. Do I have time to go grab it?
Go.
Okay. So this is our newest shirt. The other ones that we have are workout tank tops,
Okay.
which you can look at on the website. But our newest shirt, I don't know if you can see this, but
Oh,
this
I
says
like that.
my therapist
I
doesn't
do.
like you either.
I love that. I need one of
So
those.
I can absolutely send you one. These come in women's, like a women's fitted tee and a unisex tee in
Okay.
all sizes. They're really, so I am super picky, y'all. So it took me
Mm-hmm.
a really long time to put this shirt into production because I wanted to make sure the
Mm-hmm.
quality of the shirt would be
Mm-hmm.
up to par.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are interested, these are $30.
Okay.
This is like a canvas Bella cotton. And if we can even do a discount code for those who are listening.
Okay.
I'm willing to like,
Thank you.
yeah, we can drop them down and take $5 off.
Okay.
So 25. But yeah, this one, and there's another one that is not, I have the design, but I'll be honest, it's not in production. But this one says, it says my therapist doesn't like you either. And on the bottom it says I'm the therapist. So for those of us who
I
are
love
therapists
it.
and
Yes.
want to wear this too,
Okay.
they would wear that one.
Okay. How long is it going to take for that one to be on the site? When will that be on the site?
Uh, if there's demand, quickly. I have found a really amazing production company who did these for me, so all I have to do is tell them to produce them.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I need to get this up on the site. Let me work with my back end people to be able to
Okay.
do that. So yeah, a week or so, a week
All
or
right.
two.
Well, it'll take me a minute to get this edited and put out, so you got time. So by the time
Perfect.
you see
Perfect.
this, please go to the website and check that out and get your people. Look, I'm a t-shirt girl, so
Yeah,
there's
I
so
am
much
too.
shit to be said with the t-shirt. I love a snarky t-shirt, so up my alley.
Me
Like
too.
mine says, "I'm the boss," so snark.
Love that. And you are.
That's what they tell me. Okay, so I have so enjoyed you spending the time with me. I appreciate you taking the time, especially since you didn't even know me from a can of paint before I reached out to you. So I appreciate you taking the time. I feel like this information
Absolutely.
was important. And so, hopefully down the future bring you back on again so we can talk about some more stuff because it's needed.
So thank you. You're right, I didn't know you, but you Dr. Donna's name was attached, so like she knows. Whenever anybody reach, I'm just like, yes, if I can.
Mhm.
But what I appreciate from you is that I haven't I just haven't realized how much I've missed talking about this out loud, right? I've been so focused on building my practice because there's another level, right? So I used to be just a solo practitioner. I'm now a group practice. And so
Mhm.
taking a self-paid group practice and growing it, there's some different things you got to
Yeah.
do. So I haven't been talking about this as much. I've just been living it.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk about it more. I need to go on
Exactly.
more podcasts and spaces
Yeah.
and talk about this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel the same way. I just been working and in it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't connect
Yeah.
with people anymore. And I love to have conversations. And, it's always like, oh, it pours back into my spirit to do it. So
Hmm.
I'm so glad to have met you. And we will be releasing this. What is it? It's almost April. So sometime next month. So I
Okay.
don't know where y'all can
Yeah, just let me
see the
know.
caption where this is going to be, but all of Dr. Mel's information will be listed from her website to where you can connect to her on socials. And until next time, um, thank you and bye.
Bye.